Hey guys, this is Sam at ENN Coins and Cards, and if you saw my preview video last week, we have about $1,900 worth of bills and coins to hunt through, and I think I'm going to be starting the hunt with this box of uncirculated quarters. These are the 2020 Salt River Bay America the Beautiful quarters. And why a box of uncirculated quarters? Because, well, usually when you get boxes of uncirculated coins, you're not going to find anything good in it because you're going to be looking for older coins mostly. But with quarters, the last couple years, 2019 and 2020, they have released quarters that were minted at West Point. And the West Point Mint generally does not release quarters for circulation or any coins for circulation. But the last 2 years they did. And the mintage figures are extremely low. So while mintages for Philadelphia and Denver are $500,000 or more, the mintage figures for West Point are only about 2 million. I think it's 10 million total across the 5 varieties, 2 million per design. So there's 2 million Salt River Bay W quarters. But they do have a premium if you find one, and they have been releasing them mixed in with coins released from the Philadelphia and Denver Mint. So just because you have a box of solid uncirculated quarters doesn't mean that you'll find one, but if you are going to find one, your chances are likely the highest in an uncirculated box. And I've seen some people on YouTube pulling up to 25, 26 coins sometimes, W coins, out of a box of uncirculated quarters. But we won't know if there's any in here until we hunt it. So before we get started with the hunt, I want to show you some other quarter varieties that we're going to be looking for besides Ws. Ws are going to be the main thing we're looking for, at least in the uncirculated box, but there could be some other stuff that we could find too. So there are some minor state quarter varieties that are worth probably a few bucks each that are not too difficult to find that I think are fun to look for. The first one is the 1999p Delaware Spitting Horse. And this coin is a die crack, and the crack is right at the horse's mouth. And in the later die stages, the crack will extend all the way into this Caesar Rodney here. And basically, the longer the crack is, the more value that the coin is going to have. These are worth maybe a couple bucks a piece, maybe up to 10 bucks if you have a really nice example. There's also the 2004 D Wisconsin Extra Leaf variety. And there are a couple varieties for this, the high leaf and the low leaf, where you have a die gouge that extends out and it connects to the stalk, and it kind of looks like a leaf. That's why they call it the extra leaf. There's also the 2005 Kansas In God We Rust quarter, and this is actually on the obverse, on the motto. So instead of saying In God We Trust, the T is filled with grease, and it will say In God We Rust. And in really good examples, there's no T at all. So there are minor examples of this where you can see a little bit of the T, but the less of that T that's there, the more value the coin is going to have. There's also the 2005 P&D Minnesota Extra Tree. And from the state, if you count over 3 trees, some coins are going to have a little remnant of a 4th tree. And this is actually a double die error, where the last tree is basically doubled. And there are a ton of other errors involving the trees on the Minnesota coins, and there's a lot of debate over what they are. So look up other varieties for this coin because there's a lot more to look for. There's also the 2015 Homestead Leaky Bucket or Snow on the Roof. And this is a die chip where on the bucket right here, you're going to see a little line extending out where it looks like the water is leaking out. And again, in the later die stages, the chip is so bad that it can actually extend almost all the way out to the date. And the same thing on the roof here. I don't know if it's a die cut or if it's a die chip or something, but there'll be extra metal on the roof line, and they call that the snow on the roof. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the Bicentennial 1976D Double Die Obverse. This is a much rarer variety and definitely worth some money if you find it, but on the Denver minted Bicentennial quarters, the word liberty is ever so slightly doubled on some coins. Once again, valuable variety, definitely worth looking for. Well, if you know of any other varieties that we should be looking for, or any that I might have missed, comment below and let me know what you like to look for. All right, so we're going to break into the first roll here and see if we get anything. I'm probably going to open 4 or 5 rolls live, and if we don't get anything, I'm just going to go into a time lapse, but hopefully we get one every few rolls, but we will see. All right, so yeah, it looks like solid. Actually, I was going to say solid uncirculated. It might not be. Look at that one right there. That one looks circulated. So we might have some circulated coins mixed in. I did check all the ends for the first 10 rolls, and I did not see anything that looked circulated, so I figured this would be completely uncirculated, but maybe some older coins made it into the hopper when they were making these rolls. All right, first coin is Philadelphia. Should be the vast majority of them. Yep, so we have a 1989 there, and an older Missouri. So it looks like this box is going to be mostly uncirculated. This happens sometimes. I don't know exactly how it works, but I think the supply companies, when they get the new coins, they just probably throw them in the machine. So if they get a whole lot at one time, you might get solid boxes. But, you know, if they dump them on top of some circulated coins and you get the tail end of that, you might get some circulated coins mixed in. Looks like there's also a double die variety for these coins. For the last few years, there have been some very subtle double die varieties for the American The Beautiful Quarters. I'm not sure if they're recognized by PCGS or not, but I'm going to be keeping my eye out for any thickening of the letters on the obverse that may be indicative of die doubling. All right, so nothing that stands out to me in the first roll. Roll number 2. Looks like we have some older coins in the second roll as well. Alright guys, so we are about 5 rolls in to this uncirculated box, and so far have found nothing exciting. So if we go through this whole box and I don't find anything, I'm just going to search the other $50 bag of customer wrapped rolls that we have as well. I'm sweating a little bit. Hopefully there's still some hope to find some W quarters. We have 45 more rolls to go through, so we'll see. So I just opened up the very last roll, and this is the first find of the box. We have a proof coin. You can see the estimate mark right there. It's quite circulated. You can still see the mirror finish a little bit. And it's going to be a Harper's Ferry 2016. Clad proofs for modern quarters. Even in new condition right out of the set, they don't have a whole lot of premium to them. In worn condition like this, it's even less so. But these are a cool find, and I always pull them out when I find them. If you're trying to fill a circulation set with proofs, then you would keep them, and that is a very challenging thing to do. But cool to find it in the very last roll. No W's, unfortunately, but that's the way it goes. So we finished up that first box. It was mostly uncirculated. We actually got more and more older quarters as we got towards the end of the box. So I'm going to guess that they probably dumped some new coins into the hopper, and we kind of got the mix plus most of the new ones up top, since we were getting more and more of the older ones as we went through the bottom of the box. Anyway, since we didn't really find anything too special besides that proof coin, I'm going to be doing the second $500 worth, and these are all customer wrapped rolls. So they came in just a big bag like this, and I pulled out some of the rolls. It looks like we have 3 different types of wraps here. These open-ended types, then the ones that the bank would give you, and then ones that likely somebody probably ordered online. So some of these are probably a dump from somebody doing coin roll hunting, but as with customer wrapped rolls, as we have discovered previously in this series of videos, you never know what you're going to find. Okay, so I'm just going to start opening these rolls. I'm going to be grabbing them out of the bag at random. Same with the last video, I'll probably open a few on camera and time-lapse the rest of them, since they're quarters, we're probably not going to find much. Oh, right off the bat. Oh man, you get this in customer wrapped rolls sometimes. We got a freaking nickel. That didn't take long, did it? Well, let's see how many quarters are actually in here, because we might have just got shorted right on the first roll. Yep. 20 cents shorted on the first roll. Come on, people. All right, first foreign in the box, a Modern Canadian 2014. We're still losing money. All right, so I've gone through 10 rolls, and we haven't found anything special so far. We've just got a couple of Canadian coins, and I've pulled out some nicer stuff that I'll show at the end. So I'm going to search the rest of these off camera, and if I find anything, I will show you. All right, so we have finished hunting that second $500 worth of quarters, and let me show you what we found. In the first roll, you saw us get a nickel. Well, we found many, many more nickels, unfortunately. So we got 9 nickels out of those rolls and a super chewed up Canadian penny. So we got shorted. We got a few bucks short. And some of the rolls I noticed only had 9.75 even when they weren't packed. So whoever was wrapping these rolls was not paying very close attention, or in the case of this, they knew exactly what they were doing. We also got 5 Canadian quarters here. So, yep, we're losing money on the Canadians. I usually don't put these back in. If you remember from our dime video, you can get Canadian silver coins every now and then, but these are not silver. I got 4 2009s. We got Guam. We have District of Columbia. We have American Samoa. And Guam. I think I already said that one. 2 Guams. So not bad. Some people collect 2009 since they are lower mintage. And here are some of the coins I pulled out that were a little bit nicer. A decent 1998. I know it's kind of hard to see on the camera. This one especially has some pretty nice toning. So if you were trying to fill an album, this is what you would be pulling out to fill it. Stuff like that. Oh yeah, the only other thing we got here is this San Francisco minted proof coin, which came out of the first box. And then I also pulled out a couple 1982s that were a little better. If you know anything about 1982 and 1983, there were no mint sets for those years. So any mint state quarters or coins that were saved from those years are worth more money, since there weren't any mint state ones that came out in mint sets. So these are nicer, but they don't quite make the grade to be worth more. They pretty much have to be mint state to be able to carry a premium. But this would be decent for an album for sure. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. We didn't find a whole lot, as is the norm with quarters. No W's, no silver, no varieties. We did get that one clad proof coin. Still a cool find, even if it's not worth a whole lot. And of course, we found the nickels, pennies, and Canadian quarters, which unfortunately are worth even less. And if you like this video, please hit like, comment, and subscribe. And let us know if you see anything that you want in these videos. If we find something and you want it, I'm sure we can work something out. Just comment below and we can get in contact with you. All right, thanks again, and we'll see you next time.